everybody? Doing another Dark Girl Chronicles vlog. Um, it's a little late for me. I just got home from work and I decided I was going to do a little bit of recording because, well, I didn't have anything else to do, and um, I wanted to do some recording back to back for a little bit. So, not too much going on with me. I was out today. I had to go to work. And so I was out and about in the street, not doing a whole lot other than going to work and doing stuff. Um, I I meant to mention this in the past episode, but my boyfriend gave me a gift. When he went on his trip with his cousins that I had talked about previously, not last episode, but the one before that. He had gone to Tennessee with his cousins and had talked about me and had, like mentioned me, mentioned things about me to his family, and I guess it said it was pretty serious and all, and so I wasn't expecting him to get me a gift while he was on his trip. I really wasn't. I wasn't expecting him to. It was a nice added bonus, I guess. So, I found out when I remembered that, yesterday, that I didn't mention this when he went on his trip, that he bought me a gift. And when I got there, when I got to Columbia, to visit and see him, he gave it to me. And it was just kind of random. He was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I got you a gift." And I was like, do what now?" I kind of had that look like, "Do what now?" And he was like, "Yeah, I got you a gift." And I was like, Derp, what did you get me?" And so, he apparently got me some earrings. And so, let's see if I can show you guys my earrings. I have a pair that's like this already, and they're like coral colored. They're like salmonish coral colored. They're like pink, and so I have some stuff that goes with it, and they're really, really super pretty. But the ones that he gave me, he went to Cracker Barrel, okay? Which, let me tell y'all something. Don't sleep on Cracker Barrel things, okay? Cracker Barrel jewelry. Cracker Barrel actually has some really good stuff in their, like, store part. When you go in a restaurant, they have, the store part has some really good stuff. Like, I have seen some really good gifts in Cracker Barrel. And their jewelry actually isn't bad at all. It's actually really good. I just have never bought any jewelry out of there, just because every time I go in there, I don't buy anything. I just go in the restaurant side. But I tend to look around in the store part, and the jewelry, I've noticed their jewelry and like their home decor stuff is really, really cute. So he went to Cracker Barrel while he was there, I guess for breakfast, like every morning. And when he was in the Cracker Barrel, he bought me some earrings, and this is what they look like. I'm gonna try to hold it still so you can see. But these are super cute. They're red. If you can tell, they're like, if I pull it back a little bit, you can see. They're red and coral color, like white. And they're seashell type earrings. So on the back, this is what they look like on the back. You can't really see because I know the light's like blinding it out and it's whiting it out. But that's really like seashell colored on the back. And it's super pretty. And I was so excited. I was so super excited. Let me see if I can hold both of them up. This is what they both look like. And they're super cute. I was like, "Oh, those are pretty." And then I realized he'd gone to Cracker Barrel, and I was like, okay. Okay. I have no problem with Cracker Barrel jewelry. I love it. And it's a gift, and it's a really nice gift. And it was very sweet and very thoughtful. I really appreciated the sentiment, and I really think they're actually really pretty, because I have summer type of dresses to go that match these perfectly, actually. And I could even wear them in the wintertime, but I definitely have a dress in the summertime that matches it perfectly. I mean, like, the pattern is almost exactly the same and everything. And it's like red and white. And it's a maxi dress. It's a long dress that's like sleeveless. So it cuts, it's like right here. It's a tube top thing, so it comes right about there. And so those earrings would go perfectly with it, actually. I was super surprised, and I was like, oh, wow, he picked something really awesome for me. That's unusual. I wasn't expecting him to do so well with the first, like, gift to his girlfriend type thing. I was not expecting him to do extremely well. But then again, he has really good taste in things, so I wasn't all that surprised. But I was very pleased with my gift, and I loved it. And I told him, I was like, oh, babe, they're adorable. And I love them. And I would wear them with like a million different things that I have, specifically a dress that you've seen. And he's like, oh, okay. And I think he thought I was going to wear them. See, I wore my other earrings that look like this. They're the coral colored ones. I wore those when we went to meet his dad. I wore those. And I think he thought I was going to wear those. And I was like, oh, they don't really match. Excuse me. Gracious, I have to sneeze. But they don't really they didn't really match these ones that he gave me. Didn't really match with the outfit that I wore to when we went to meet his dad. So I wasn't gonna wear those, but the ones that are coral color really do match. So yeah, I was super excited about that, and I was so excited when he gave me these. I'm so sneezy. Um, so I was super excited about the earrings, and I thought they were so cute and adorables. They're super adorable, and I was just like, oh wow, he got me a gift. Because that came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere. Like, I was not expecting it at all. Because he just really, when I say he just kind of sprung it on me, I walked in the door and he was like, oh, I'm so happy to see you and you're here. And I was like, hello. I haven't seen you in a month and I'm excited to see you. And he was like, so he was telling me about his trip, and because I hadn't talked to him. Well, I take that back. I had talked to him. I talked to him, but I hadn't seen him since he'd come back from his trip. So, he was telling me a little bit more about the trip, because we talked on the phone in between the time that he'd come back from his trip and when I actually went to Columbia. And so he was telling me a little bit more about the trip, and that's when he was all like, yeah, we went to Cracker Barrel every day for breakfast. And I was like, did you now? And he was like, yes. And I was like, oh. And so he was like, he was like kind of looking at me strangely, and then he was like, so I got you something while I was there. And I was like, I just kind of made that face like, do what? I really made this awful face. It was just like, because I was so surprised that he got me something, just super surprised. And then he was like, yeah, I got you a gift while we were on the trip. And I was like, I just kind of was like, let me see what you got. Don't come out here with no damn bomb like it's a fucking jokey surprise or some shit from the Smurfs. Don't sneak up on people and be like, I got you a gift. And he's like, jokey surprise. I used to love the Smurfs, actually. Surprisingly, I used to love the Smurfs. And Jokey Smurf was my favorite Smurf. Because Jokey was a badass. Only he could go around and prank everybody and get away with it. But anyway, so I imagined he had like a Jokey surprise. That's just the kind of weird person that I am. Like, I would assume that he'd have a gift box, and then I'd open it and it's a bomb in the gift box. Yeah, I'm weird like that. So, so that's why I made that face when he was like, "I have a gift for you," and I was like, "What kind of gift do you have?" Don't spring this on the bear. What in the world? So when he handed me the earrings, and I was like, these are awesome. Um, that's awesome, and they're beautiful. What? Wow. So yeah, I I don't know. Now I feel like I gotta get him something when I go somewhere. Well, and I always do get him something. If we go somewhere, like if I go somewhere and he isn't with me, I get him something. Like when I went to, and I briefly mentioned this, but when I was in Jacksonville last year, um, Jacksonville, Florida, to see my brother, I got him a mug when I was in Savannah because I know that he likes to drink coffee. And so I got him a mug that had like all the cities of Georgia on it. And because I knew he would like that sort of thing. Like he'd be interested in that sort of thing. And he likes mugs, like he likes coffee mugs and stuff. And I wanted to get him something that wasn't like I'm trying to be your girlfriend type gift, but I wanted to get him something that was thoughtful, and I was thinking about him type gift. I didn't want to get him something that was I'm trying to be your girlfriend type gift because I was trying to be his girlfriend. But at that point, I was also still married. Legally, I was still married, and um, that was right when we decided to get a divorce. And so I didn't want to exacerbate that situation any more than it already was. And so, um, yeah, I wound up just getting him something that was very understated, yet it let him know that I was thinking about him. And so, yeah. It went over very well. I know for a fact that he really liked said gift. So, the other thing I really wanted to talk about was that I had been doing some thinking in the past couple of days, and um, I was thinking about how I really felt about being in a relationship again. Um, a couple of months after I got a divorce, because I've been in this relationship with Brandon for 5 months, and it's been wonderful. I mean, like, so wonderful. I am happy, and I I am so used to being upset now about things that I have to remind myself that I am happy and in this relationship with the person that I want to be with. Like, I have to pinch myself and tell myself that, this guy is actually real, and he's awesome, and he's wonderful and good for me, and that I do really care about him, and he really does exist. Like, I have to remind myself that he really exists, and we are actually in a relationship. Like, it's taken me so long to get used to being in a relationship again that it's kind of like, what am I actually really doing this? Like, I don't know. It's kind of like having an out of body experience, I guess. And I have to like I have to step back and look at myself and be like, yes, you are in fact in a relationship with this man. And it's pretty serious. And you both really care about each other. And yes, if he asked you, you could see yourself marrying him. Like, I've gotten to the point where I feel like, I don't know, I could be married again and I would be okay. At least to Brandon, I feel like I could do that. I don't know. I feel like, sometimes I feel like I'm super ready for that again, and then there are times where I'm just like, no. I am not ready to be married again. Like, I can't deal with this right now. I can't. And I can't deal with, not that I would have to take care of us or anything, because Brandon, let me tell you something. Brandon is not lazy. He's going to be on his grind. He is going to be on his grind. He's going to take care of what he has to take care of, and he's going to make sure things work. And there was a very telling situation when I was in Colombia and we were talking. And it was when he's like trying to convince me to stay, and he's all like, "I'm gonna miss you," and I'm like, "But babe, I gotta go. Like I gotta go back to Burlington. I gotta make money. I gotta eat. I gotta put food on my table. I gotta eat." And I got bills to pay, and you know this. Like, it's not as if you don't know this. But I understood his sentiment, and it was the sweetest thing he'd ever said to me. And he said a lot of sweet things to me, but that's that ranks up right up there, and he doesn't realize that I feel that way about that. But that's one of the sweetest things that he could have said to me ever, was that he wanted me to stay. And so he said to me, I was like, "Babe, I can't stay unless you want to take care of me." I was like, "Unless you want to take care of me, I can't stay. You know that." And he was like, "Well, I'm not quite at that point yet." And it wasn't that he wasn't emotionally at that point yet. I knew that's what he was not saying. He actually meant he wasn't financially at that point yet. And I'm like, "Oh, babe, don't do this. Don't think about this like this right now. Don't think about this right. Don't think about it like that right now. Don't be considering trying to take care of me, trying to take care of us and take care of me when you got to get your stuff together first." I'm like, "Don't sit up here and think about taking care of me. Don't do that. Don't do that." I mean, I know that if you could, you would, but don't do that. Don't put that pressure on yourself right now, because I'm not putting that pressure on you. I'm not going to ever put that pressure on you. So I don't want you to put that pressure on you unless you really and truly are going to do this. Like, don't sit up here and say, "Yeah, you're going to take care of me and you're going to do this and that and you're going to be so great and wonderful," and then you fail because you couldn't handle the pressure of your statement. Like, don't do that. I've already lived through that. I've already put up with somebody not living up to expectations and doing what they say they're going to do. I don't want to deal with that ever again. And so that's why I was like, don't say this. Don't say this. Not until you really mean it and you are in a position that you can do this, because you're not helping me, you're not helping you, you're not helping us. Okay? I am fully capable of taking care of myself. I have done it for a really long time. And I don't need somebody else to come along and make false promises and wind up failing. I don't need that. So I have already dealt with that once. I don't need that again. And I don't want to see him go down that route at all. So I don't know. I mean, part of me is just like, we're together and I'm happy and I'm overjoyed and I feel like this is the best thing for me and I'm super happy and he's beyond great for me. And another part of me is just like, yeah, it's just making that face. So I don't know. I mean, I'm super happy with Brandon. I mean, like, I love this dude. And there are many a times where, trust me, I throw up a silent prayer to God where I'm just like, thank you, and thank you. You've heard my prayers. I'm like, thank you. You've heard my prayers. This man is wonderful and he is outstanding and he is great. He's everything I have ever wanted and looked for, and in terms of being like a really nice guy and really being awesome and just being a great human being. And then there's times where I'm just like, God, please don't let me mess things up because I'm terrible. I self-sabotage all the time, and I could just see me completely screwing this up. Don't let me be me and do this. It's like that Pink song. Okay? She was talking about me when she wrote that song. Don't let me be me and be misunderstood. Because I will completely screw things up. I have screwed the pooch a number of times just from being myself. And so I know how I am. And I know that I can be very difficult to live with. I can be extraordinarily difficult to live with. I can be an asshole. Okay? I can say things and it not come out the way I want, and it sounds completely mean spirited and not nice, and that's not what I mean. And I've already had to explain myself at least once to him and be like, and it wasn't that he was questioning it. I just realized later on that it came out really wrong. And I was like, I want you to know that I realized that came out completely wrong. I did not mean for that to sound the way it sounded. And I was wrong. This is what I meant. And he was like, oh, I didn't even realize that you were meaning something different. And I was like, yes. So, I don't know. I feel like I can be okay in this relationship and I can be myself and that me being me is okay. I just know that, like, for instance, the last time that I was home in Colombia, and I had mentioned in the previous video that I was being super annoyed with everything and everything was just seriously working on my nerves. Yes. That, and I told him, and I will, when I see him again, I will point out the fact that, yes, that happens from time to time, and it is not him. It is me being just obnoxious me, and I don't mean to be obnoxious. I like to, at that point when things start working on my nerves like that, I just tend to not be around people. I will go somewhere else that doesn't involve the human race. And I will go sit down and just get away from people because I don't want to be bothered with it and I don't want to deal with people. So I don't know. Also, when I see him again, I have a cute little number I'm gonna pull on him. We're gonna see what happens. I plan to be a troublesome minx. I'm so awful. I'm going to be a troublesome minx, and it's going to be awesome. And he will be like, what? Oh my. My girlfriend just did something very, very naughty. So, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I'm being weird. And I'm super excited about going to see him next month. It's going to be at the end of the month, and so, I don't know. Also next month, at the end of the month, is probably not a really good time for me. At this point, I don't care anymore. And last year, I knew I didn't care, and I definitely don't care this year. My wedding anniversary was on Halloween, and last year was the first year that I was alone on my wedding anniversary, and also I was separated at that point, and so we were getting ready to get divorced. We were still married on paper. Our 8th wedding anniversary passed, and we were still married on paper, but we were separated, and it was awful. It was not a good day for me, let me put it that way. It wasn't so much that I sat around thinking about it. It's just that all it took was one time for me to think about it and be like, oh, well, fuck. Today's my wedding anniversary, and I'm separated from my husband, and I will be getting a divorce in about 2 months. I can file for divorce in a month. Actually, I was like, ooh, I can file for divorce in 13 days. Yes! So, I was just like, yeah, that's terrible. That's really terrible. And I wished it didn't have to come to that. And I really was sad because I remembered that, once upon a time I was happy with the man, and, things were great. And my wedding anniversary was a fun time. And, um, you know, I remember on my wedding day that, uh, we went to brunch. We didn't have a reception or anything because we basically eloped. And we went to brunch, and I remember standing in the line. We went to this Marriott and had brunch because they offer brunch for like $15 a person. And so we're in there, and my parents paid for it. And I'm standing in line in my wedding dress, which I didn't have a traditional wedding dress. I had a pink wedding dress. Bridesmaid's dress, as a matter of fact. I bought it from David's Bridal for like $150. And it was pink. It was like pearl pink, and just beautiful and satin. And it was super, super pretty. And I tried it on. It was the second dress I tried on. I tried on a yellow dress the first time, and I wasn't really feeling the yellow. And then I tried on the pink, and I was like, oh. and it fits. So, and I remember coming out of the dressing room in my dress, and the ladies were sitting there. There were some little old ladies sitting there, and they saw me in my dress, and they were like, "You're so pretty." And I was like, "I know, this is the dress." I was like, "I'm going to buy this one." I found my wedding dress. I'd only tried on one dress before that. And I never did try on a white dress or anything. So anyway, I'm standing in this line in the Marriott at brunch, and I have on this beautiful, beautiful pink ball gown wedding dress. And I have a wreath of flowers. They're like paper flowers and like silk flowers that I had made into like a wreath for my hair. And I have this wreath on, and I'm standing in line, and it's got bows hanging off of it and like flowers, and it's just pretty. And I'm all dressed up and gussied up because I just gotten married 15 minutes before that. So, and I remember the lady who was making my omelet said, "My, you all dressed up this morning. Where you going, pretty girl?" And she said, "Are you supposed to be a princess today for Halloween?" And I said, "No, ma'am. Actually, I just got married." I just got married 15 minutes ago over at the park. And she said, "Oh, did you now? Well, congratulations, and you sure are pretty this morning." And I said, "Well, thank you." I was blushing, and I was trying to be all shy. And she said, "Well, where's your groom?" I said, "Well, I think he just came through here and got some eggs, I think. I said, he's a little short man with glasses. And a little short bald man with glasses. And he's adorable." And she said, "I do think I just saw him come through here. Well, congratulations to both of you. You sure are, both of you just beaming. I know I saw him." She said, "I know I saw him come through here now. Because he sure was all just beaming, cheesing the whole time." And I said, "Yeah, that probably was him." And she says, "Well, congratulations to both of you. And you both are looking beautiful this morning." And I was like, "Oh." But we got married on a Sunday morning in October. It was Halloween. I was happy on my wedding day. It was an eventful wedding day, I must say. And I was on time for my wedding, which is highly unusual for me because I'm never on time for anything. So, but my mom made sure I was on time. But I have fond memories of being married, but at this point, it would be 9 years this year. And like I said, I spent year number 8 alone and trying not to, self-destruct. So I don't have fond memories of the last 5 years of my marriage, but the first 5, actually the first 2, really, really wonderful. And I loved being married and I was happy. And then year 3 hit and it was terrible. It went downhill from there. So for about the next 4 years, it was awful. And then, of course, year 8, 2 weeks after our 7th wedding anniversary is when he pulled his Houdini act and skipped town. Year number 8, I was by myself and had time to think about things. I had a year to think about things, and you know, I was so angry, and I have a right to be. I feel like I have a right to be bitter and angry for as long as I want to be bitter and angry, because I didn't deserve that. So when people sit up here and are like, "Oh, you should just get over it," no, that's not gonna happen. Time will probably help me do that, but there are some things you can't let go of, and you can't not be angry and sad about, and that's one of them. I don't think there will ever come a point in my life where I am not angry and not upset and not feel, where I wouldn't feel betrayed and just destroyed. That's the best way I can put it. Destroyed. I mean, I trusted this person and they stabbed me in the back and lied to me basically the entire time I knew him. You know, I laid next to someone every day, got up next to someone every day who lied to my face with absolutely no remorse whatsoever, and then had the nerve to be like, "Oops, sorry." But, you know, one day I'll get over that part probably, but I'll never forget how it feels to realize you've been lied to and made a fool of, and you love this person with everything that you had, and that determines how you feel toward anyone else who may come along. Because now, thanks to him, I feel like Brandon gets the short shrift sometimes because of me and my actions and how I feel about things, and it's not Brandon's fault. It's completely not Brandon's fault, and he shouldn't have to be made to feel like that. I told him, he and I have talked about this, and I told him, I was like, I don't want you to feel like you are at fault for any of this. This is not your problem. This is not your fault. And I will never, ever in my life sit up here and compare the two of you and try to make you feel like you should pay for mistakes that he made. Because this is not your fault. It's not mine either. But I'm the one who's got to live with it. So I don't want him, I told him I didn't want him to feel like he is to blame for any of what I go through and deal with on a daily basis. And he shouldn't have to put up with it. And he will not put up with it. I will not do it to him. I will not make him a party to the rebuilding that I have to do. And I will not make him party to the destruction that was caused by someone else. I will not do it. I won't do it just because, one, I care about Brandon, and two, I love him. And it's not his fault. He had nothing to do with it. So, I want him to know that, and he knows it. So, I'm going to get up out of here. I spent 34 minutes talking about myself again. Anyway, I guess I'll see you guys later. I might do a video shortly. We'll see. So, I'm so excited about my earrings. So excited about these earrings. I will see you guys later, and thanks for watching. I'll post up another episode in a little bit, probably. So, I'll see you later. Deuces.